As the liquor gate heat on Aam Aadmi Party leaders grows, Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia has now been sent to CBI custody till the 4th of March, seeking 5 days custody of Sisodia. CBI told court that Sisodia was evasive in his replies and could not explain why sudden changes were made in the excise policy to increase the profit margin from 5% to 12%. The CBI also told the court that Sisodia used three phones and destroyed them in the course of the investigation. The counsel for Manish Sisodia, on the other hand, contended that he has been cooperative, has appeared before the investigating agency whenever he's been called, and that not confessing to what the agency wants him to did not amount to non-cooperation. On the destruction of evidence, Manish Sisodia's lawyer argued that he is a minister holding key portfolios and cannot give his phone to any shop. Meanwhile, even as Manish Sisodia was being presented in court, when questioned by Times Now, he said it was a conspiracy against him.
Manish, would you like to say something, Manish? You have been arrested and there's a massive protest which is also going on. Manish, you would like to say something?
Remember, CBI's case against Manish Sisodia hinges on two key testimonies. One, by Sisodia's former secretary, C. Arvind, who told the CBI, according to sources, that giving wholesale businesses to private entities was mentioned in the group of ministers report, but it was never discussed. He also has said that a provision of 12% margin to private entities was against the recommendations made by the committee. In fact, the committee had made a set of recommendations, an expert committee, and eventually the decision went against that recommendation. Another testimony that is key is that of Dinesh Arora. He is one of the accused in the case, and he eventually turned approver. He has told the CBI that funds were collected for Aam Aadmi Party's election campaign, and this check was handed to Manish Sisodia himself. On the South Group, Dinesh Arora told the CBI that after 100 crore rupees was paid to the Aam Aadmi Party, a remainder of 100 crores was to be divided between Vijay Nair and the so-called South Group, and that this partnership was to continue for 3.5 years. Dinesh Arora has also claimed that Nair was involved in Delhi excise policy scam and was closely associated with the Aam Aadmi Party government. In the ED supplementary charge sheet, which was filed in the case, the ED mentions about 100 crores rupee bribe, which was paid from the South Group. This kickback was allegedly received by Nair on behalf of Aam Aadmi Party. Now, the ED has said that Telangana Chief Minister KCR's daughter K. Kavita and YSRCP MP Magunta S. Reddy was a part of this South Group. So is this something that the Aam Aadmi Party can still defend? Does the investigating agency have enough to ensure that their charges hold up in court? Charu Pragya, spokesperson of the BJP, joins us along with Kailash Adhikari, MD Governance Now, Professor D.K. Giri, political analyst, and Ravila Sridhar Reddy, leader of the BRS. I will start with you, Professor Giri, and please let's stick to facts and not rhetoric on the very specific charge that has been made by Dinesh Arora, who, by the way, is an accused turned approver. According to the supplementary charge sheet, it has been said very clearly that money was taken and Mr. Sisodia was personally involved. Now, on basis of all of that, the court thought it fit to send Mr. Sisodia into 5 days custody. How can you still presume innocence?
Well, you preface your question by saying that we should stick to the facts and not to rhetorics. I just want to ask you and your listeners that after so many of raids and investigation, has any money been found on Manish Sisodia? These are evidences. These are other people testifying. I have no problem. I do not question the order of the court. I am only asking as an intelligent and common citizen, has there been any money found on Sisodia? And okay, the answer is no.
Okay, that has been a standard counter. Charu Pragya, answer this on fact. If so much money was received in kickbacks, 100 crores received in kickbacks, why was nothing found in Mr. Sisodia's account? That is a specific question. Answer it.
Padmaja, good evening, and thank you for putting this question to me again. You know, unfortunately, the defense that Aam Aadmi Party and its supporters are constantly giving to the citizens, to media, is hollow. Tell me, in this day and time and age, who keeps money stacked up in notes in a cupboard under a bed? We are very clearly saying that this money was given to close friends of Aam Aadmi Party leaders, which was in turn used for elections. And we know that because these links have been found and established by the CBI. We have been discussing this for months now. So having money trail does not mean कि आपके घर पे note मिलेंगे. It basically means that you have siphoned off money and used it to your advantage. How is it possible that the sale of liquor goes up exponentially, the number of liquor shops increases tenfold, but the revenues to the government of Delhi goes down drastically? Please explain. Simple question number one. Question number two to you. What was the difference between manufacturers and distributors and that entire hoopla that happened with the L1 licenses? Explain that to me. It is very clear, glaringly, incompetently, and obviously corruption has happened over here. The next thing I want to ask you is, if your liquor policy was that perfect, why did you take it back? And you've not just simply taken it back, you have destroyed all the evidences which were relating to this liquor policy. 1.38 crore worth of digital evidence has been destroyed here, Padmaja. Over 140 SIM cards and phones were used. What is the reason if you're not indulging in criminal activities?
Mr. Sisodia's counsel today said that people change their phones. It's not a big deal.
140 of them. 140 of them in the last couple of months. Which kind of people change 140 phones? Please explain. Doesn't make any sense to anyone.
Professor D.K. Giri, Manish Sisodia himself has changed 7 SIM cards / phones, and all the accused between them have changed or destroyed 140. Are you just saying that all of this is because they were not up with the trends and they thought, chalo, aaj naya phone khareedte hain? Professor Giri?
Padmaja, these are actually what you called are rhetorics. You see, these are attributions. I change my appearance 10 times a year. What does that mean? You see, they change the phones.
You change your phone 10 times a year. Why are you changing your phone 10 times a year?
Rhetorics. What does that prove? What does that prove? This is circumstantial. Charu Pragya is a lawyer, my good friend. Give the evidence. Don't engage in rhetorics. I change my phones. What does that mean? It is an attribution.
Okay, let's take this one. Okay, quickly answer this. Professor Giri can change his phone 10 times a year. Doesn't make him corrupt. Charu Pragya.
Thank you, Padmaja. First of all, CBI will give the evidence. That's not my job. Secondly, and most importantly, rhetoric is replying to charges about sharab by talking about schools. That's called a rhetoric. These are hard questions I'm asking, and I expect hard and honest replies, which I'm not getting.
All right. Let me bring in Mr. Reddy now. Mr. Reddy, there is the South group of which 100 crore kickbacks, and it's not just rhetoric. There is the testimony of Dinesh Arora, who is now turned approver. Now, this gentleman has recorded his statement before a magistrate. It is counting as evidence before a court of law.
See, first in the case, nobody understood what is this case is all about. Only CBI, their political bosses, and advocates like Charu knows it very clearly. All the losses they are claiming are imaginary, and all the money which is claimed to be given as bribes, nowhere it is found. And policy, the question of profit enhancement comes around when the policy is implemented. So policy is not implemented, money is not taken, money is not found, and losses are imaginary. I don't know how come this will become a big case. Now only big advocates in Delhi supporting BJP will only understand this, number one. Number two, this is purely a case of revenge politics, nothing else. BJP could not digest their defeat in Delhi Assembly elections. Then despite many an attempt on Kejriwal and his associates, they lost MCD very badly. And this is out of ego. They are trying to arrest, they are trying to harass them. And same case with us also. Even in Telangana and in the entire country.
Sir, okay, again, here you are making assumptions which may or may not be correct. What I am asking you is about sir, just a second. I am asking you about statements that have been given by witnesses. For example, you have got C. Arvind, who is the former secretary to Mr. Sisodia himself. What has Mr. Arvind said? Mr. Arvind has said that I was called to the Chief Minister's residence in mid-March of 2021. Satyendra Jain, Manish Sisodia was present and they gave me a draft copy of the group of ministers. 12% profit margin was given. What was the proposed profit margin? 5%. What was it increased to? To 12%. And this is not the BJP saying it. This is not the advocates connected to BJP saying it. This is C. Arvind, former secretary to Manish Sisodia saying it. What explains this?
That's what I am saying. See, all these can be properly fabricated. How can you believe in them? They could have been pressurized to do all this. Number two.
Okay.
And I'm asking you, in the case of Himanta Biswa Sharma, Yediyurappa, and Jyotirajya Scindia also, there were cases, there was interrogation, there were many evidences. What happened today? They don't hold good today. Only a case, I'm telling you, a common man can understand.
So there are two people, Kailash Adhikari, just a second, Charu Pragya, let me bring in Kailash Adhikari as well. There are two people and let's put their testimonies on screen. Dinesh Arora and C. Arvind, they have said some very specific things. I told you about what C. Arvind said. Now let me tell you what Dinesh Arora has said, and he has made very specific charges. He says, I came in contact with Manish Sisodia through Sanjay Singh. I arranged funds for Aam Aadmi Party for elections. I handed a check to Mr. Sisodia and he helped in shifting shop of a licensee. The argument is fine. They may have registered their statement. They may be now approvers, but maybe they were coerced. Kailash Adhikari.
Absolutely. Padmaja, जैसे कहा जाता है ना, ताली एक हाथ से नहीं बजती है. That is what comes here. Now, Padmaja, there are various things attached to this. Firstly, we must all understand that the law enforcement agencies of this country are very competent. They are robust, as well as they are run by very competent people, and they have a rule book to follow. If they have found Mr. Manish Sisodia guilty of certain charges, and if they have the correct evidence, naturally they will take him into custody. I mean, that is what they follow, and that is what they have done. Now, if AAP wants to cry political vendetta, do dharnas, disturb public life, that is their political doom that they are doing. If they have any strong defense, let them present in the court of law. Judiciary will take its own course. And on this particular thing also, Padmaja, I mean, on the entire liquor gate scam, earlier also there was a certain policy that came that they took back. Then one thing again they came. They have never been vocal about it, and they have never even defended themselves. I mean, on this particular debate, which has happened on your channel also, Padmaja, so many times, tell me how many times any AAP spokesperson has come and actually defended that policy? Hardly less than even 10%.
Mr. Reddy,
don't have any defense on
and just by the way, this is evidence produced before the CBI court, and as of today, the court found it enough to send Mr. Sisodia to 5 days of custody. As of today, it found it enough. Mr.
Absolutely. Mr. Kailash is saying that they have full confidence in the probe agencies. Yes, but they have confidence only for BJP leaders. Nobody else. Entire country today, they know CBI, ED, IT work at the behest of their BJP bosses. There is no fair mechanism today to conduct the probe. Number one, if a 10,000 crores said to be a scam, supposing if anybody assumes it is right, 10,000 crores is given somewhere, somebody take money. What about 12 lakh crores? Common man's money in the form of banks investment, LIC investment, wiped out. Now, what is it called as? Scam? What else it is?
Charu
Why
Pragya.
BJP is not answering?
Yeah.
These are all diversionary tactics.
Can I come in, please, Mr. Reddy? I heard you out. Now, you were saying that there is no loss of revenue because the policy was taken back. I am not sure if you 0.5% amounts to. It is well over 1,000 crores. I am not saying this. Aam Aadmi Party is saying this. Are you trying to say that these values are not of importance to the people of Delhi? And are you trying to tell me that the time at which this liquor policy was passed is immaterial? Because this was a time when Delhi was crying out for medicines, for oxygen. This was a time when Delhi was literally dying, and we had these ministers helping their friends, creating a cartel, siphoning off money instead of looking after the people of Delhi.
Okay,
you
Mr.
don't
Reddy.
have answers to any of this.
Mr. Reddy taking you on, yes.
Can you also answer in the similar lines about the 12 lakh crores which is wiped out? Can you answer in the similar manner, Honorable Prime Minister helping his friend Adani, getting a business in Sri Lanka, Australia, and pushing this country, the state governments to buy his imported coal at an extra price? I mean, you guys are such an hypocritic, people.
In 2010,
Only you can see mistakes in opposition.
Okay, Mr. Reddy, with the greatest of respect, there is a difference there. One, there is a case where the ED and CBI are investigating. And the second is a matter that has been taken to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court itself has decided to set up a monitoring panel. So if you think there should be a CBI and ED case, you should definitely in Telangana file a case against the company you mentioned and ask for a CBI probe. You are in government in Telangana, you should ask for a CBI probe.
Padmaja, first the BJP government ran away, avoided answers in the parliament. They were not ready to form a JPC. Then after the court asked them, they wanted a sealed cover committee, which court denied. This shows very clearly that central government was wrong.
Actually, sir, the center said, anyway, this is, okay, sir, with the greatest of respect, here there are two very separate cases. We are talking about a criminal investigation that is taking place and another where there is no criminal complaint. Please go ahead and start criminal proceedings against the company mentioned.
Many North Indian companies working in the South India, doing business. Now, if you wanted to implicate false cases, intimidate people from opposition, if you taken this route of intimidating the leaders and opposition parties, this is not the right way. Everybody in the country is asking, where has the money gone?
Okay, but again, the name of the BRS, or people associated has been taken by an accused turn approver, and an accused who, by the way, was pictured with Manish Sisodia. Why is Dinesh Arora testifying against the BRS?
How BJP pushed central agencies can behave, can make these kind of cases, can implicate people, can create whatever they wanted to, to make their political bosses happy. And everything will come out, as Mr. Kailash was saying.
Okay.
We also have respect.
So then let me ask you the next question. Then why did the Rouse Avenue court send Mr. Sisodia into custody today?
In Telangana,
he should have got bail.
Padmaja, in Telangana, there were 4 people who tried to bribe our MLAs, and BJP contested in the court, despite claiming that they are not their men. They also have been sent to court, jail. After successfully, they could hand over the case to CBI.
Okay. Sir, you, with the greatest of respect, okay, let Kailash Adhikari answer that, but let me also remind you, sir, that you are making these allegations of misuse of agencies at a time when you've got the YSR TP, YS Sharmila, saying that you are misusing the police and not letting her move about in Telangana. So in your own state, you are accused by your political opponents of misusing the agencies and misusing the system and misusing the machinery.
If we would have not.
Padmaja, I'd like to mention one thing, that the agencies come in wherever there is a predicate offense.
Okay, one at a time, please. Kailash Adhikari responding. This was just a reminder, sir, that YS Sharmila went to court to seek permission for her Padyatra, and even then she was stopped. And she says that the police is being misused by your government. So whenever action is taken, the opposition will say that agencies are your handmaidens, sir.
Sorry, this is one side. I am saying...
Okay, answer, Mr. Reddy, yes.
She only claimed she did a Padayatra of 3,500 kilometers. If government really wanted to stop, do you think that would possible? Number 2, it is not we. The court gave her the permission with conditions. Even despite that, she tried to raise the tensions. Hence, the police had to take decision.
Okay.
Telangana government never stopped anybody. Today, you come to us.
All right, sir.
BJP,
that's the
Congress,
thing. That's the thing. When you're in government, you say the law is taking its course. There was a law and order situation. Now that this case is with the CBI, they are saying that there is corruption, so we are taking action. When in opposition, you call it vendetta.
Everywhere in the country.
Okay. All right. Kailash Adhikari, you were responding. Yes.
Padmaja, these days it has become a fashion that even if electricity or water is cut at your home, and if you're from the opposition, you cry political vendetta and say that this is done by the government or the Bharatiya Janata Party. It makes literally no sense. The law enforcement agencies or the police of this country, they come in when there is an offense, where there is an offense registered or where there is a complaint, where there is a predicate offense. It's very clear. Even the Supreme Court has said that in the case of the law enforcement agencies, if there is a predicate offense, they can come in. And if you feel that you are so bereft of your rights, or if you're so aggrieved, then judiciary is there. You can go in. But in this case, even the particular dedicated court, the special CBI court, provided a 5-day custody of Manish Sisodia to the Central Bureau of Investigation. Means that the Central Bureau of Investigation could prove that we need the custody of this particular man.
Okay, but that is for now. It was used for the Goa elections. Then there should be a money trail, and that very well could hold the key as the investigation progresses. For now, thank you very much, all gentlemen. Charu Pragya for joining me. We'll keep a very close eye. And at 10 p.m, I'll see you next on News Hour Agenda with more details of exactly what we know about the case so far, who within the Aam Aadmi Party could also be facing the heat soon. See you then.